Hello and welcome to a very special type of video. On Twitter I asked some of you guys if you guys would want some other type Lego videos. Well, as luck would have it, I found a completely, I do mean completely, I apologize, autofocus is not cooperating at all, a completely unopened Spider-Man 1 movie set. This is in fact the Origin set, number 4851, suggested ages 7 to 12. Now, this isn't just me going over and bragging. No. I am going to be building this. I am going to be building this live. Not on a live stream live, but right in front of you right now. And when I'm done, I am going to give you my overall thoughts on this. But before we begin, just let me appreciate this for a moment. It's very, very cool to have the honor to actually open a brand new set. And for those wondering, I didn't even pay a lot for this. I only paid around $100 for this, if I remember correctly. I picked this up about 2 weeks ago, and I've been heavily debating on if I should open it or not. But the little kid in me just really can't resist, so I said if I'm doing it, I'm not going to be the only one that experiences it. A little background before we actually dive in. I know it seems like I'm stalling. It's only because I am. This is the first Spider-Man set I ever got as a kid. The first and one of the few ones I actually got. So the fact I found this complete in the box really spoke to me. And it wasn't even like I ordered it online. No, I found it at my local toy shop. Little shout out to Toy Traders. Not sure if that's a big chain at all, but as far as I know, it's a little local place. So if you're in Canada, if you see a place called Toy Traders, go there. They have some cool shit. Probably shouldn't swear because there's probably a bunch of 7-year-olds watching this. I apologize, but not really, because if you've been following my channel, you're going to learn these languages soon enough. Alright, enough stalling. Where's me knife? I'm going to use a knife for this because I don't want to overly damage the box, because I do want to keep this. With most current Lego sets, all you have is a couple of pieces of tape. This is glued together, so it's really hardcore if you want to crack this bad boy open. I know, I'm technically breaking a rule, not having anything in front of the camera, so I apologize. It's just, when dealing with a blade, you better be safe than sorry. Alright, so put that there. So, proof that it is in fact open now. Let us... Ooh. This is quite a small set in reality. Like, I'm just kind of, for history's sake, kind of cool to see the, I guess, the glue. I don't know. I'm being weird now, but really does feel like I'm performing some kind of taboo ritual. One thing I do want to talk about is, it's interesting that this part and this part is all stickers. It's not actually printed on the box. I know that was kind of a common thing with older Lego, but it's interesting that it's only a couple of spots and not the whole box, you know? Alright. So, if need be, I'll speed up the footage because this might get a little boring, but I mean, it's not even that big of a set, so we'll see how this goes. Okay. Before I actually dive too into it, let's check out this manual. Because, I mean, it's kind of cool. Same picture we get on the box cover. Oh, wow. Look at that CGI models. I know the lighting's terrible, I apologize. Wow. So it looks like we start with Oscorp's chamber, yeah. Then we go into the field trip. Yeah, these sets are quite small. Kind of surprised because, wow, look at all of that. What's kind of, crap, what was I saying? Little, back advertisement. Yeah, now I remember what I was going to say. On the back of the box here, they show other builds. Like, you got this, I can only assume it's like a bomb setup, and then Peter Parker and the Doctor on a date while Spider-Man and Mary Jane is on a date. And this poor, sad, lonely goblin. All alone. That's probably why he's evil. He doesn't have a date. This is quite a funny secondary build. Yeah, it is kind of weird that they don't actually include those in the manual. Not that I was planning on building those ones in particular, it's just like, you know what I mean. Oh. I mean, it looks just like new Lego. It doesn't look overly vintage or anything like that. Okay, sorry about that. My memory card got full and my camera didn't tell me. So, fortunately, I caught it fairly quickly early on, so you didn't miss a whole lot. Mostly just me kind of marveling over the fact that Lego is still Lego. I know, it's shocking, right? One thing I did want to point out before the camera stopped is check out this keyboard. If autofocus would work with me. Come on, come on. Oh god, don't drop it. Okay, come on. It's the only thing in frame, you jerk. Can I get it in focus? Yeah, it's at least in focus now. Zoom in. Yeah, this is how you photography, right? Yeah, it's a keyboard with all the alphabet. Nowadays, it's only little, like, squares. It's not like... Yeah, look at that. That's so cool. So cool indeed. Just wanted to kind of show you guys that. Because, like, for me personally, Lego always kind of felt like... Well, it's only been getting kind of better, especially in the printing department. Because, like, some of these print jobs on a lot of these early minifigures, it's just terrible. Like, I don't have any with me right now. Actually, you know what? This isn't the best example of it, but here's a space robot that's quite vintage. Yeah. Very nice printing at first glance. But my OCD kicks in. And you can see, eventually, yeah, there we go, that his leg printing isn't center. I know it seems like a minor thing to gripe about, but as a guy that likes perfection, it can be a bit tedious. Mind you, this was never meant for adult men, especially how many decades later. This is meant for children. So I can forgive that. And Lego's only gotten better with that, is pretty much what I'm saying. But it is cool to see a keyboard with actual letters. I do apologize if there is a slight humming in the background. It's like 200 degrees outside, so I have to have at least one fan on. I did actually turn off like 2 or 3 other fans, so it's already getting warm, especially with this little lamp light. I'll put it more down so we got a bit better lighting. Alright. Oh, whoa! Look at that! Spider-Man's head is already on its body. Or, yeah, its chest piece. Wonder if that was deliberate or just some crazy, crazy luck. Wow, those are stiff arms. So cool. We'll take a good look at all of the minifigures when the set is completed, but for sanity's sakes, I got some minifigure stands with a bat logo because that's what I got. If you think that's a bit silly, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Oh. Let's not lose the stickers. Okay. I do apologize. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Double faces. Come on. This is meant to be Norman Osborn. And he has a constipated face and a confident face. Very cool. Was not expecting that. Was not expecting that at all. Really cool. Don't know why he has Schwarzenegger hair, but he does, so that's neat. Got Peter, got Goblin, Old Man, let's see. Yeah, I guess Peter has dark pants. Wow, they put the hands upside down on Peter and Goblin and Osborn and the Doctor. Bit of a smudge on Peter's face. Like I said, printing on older minifigures isn't exactly always, well, perfect. But I mean, for the time, I'm actually quite impressed with all of this. Wow, it's nice having a Norman Osborn Green Goblin that isn't completely faded out. Look how vibrant. Come on. Come on. Most of this is me going, come on, focus. Let's adjust the lighting so it's not so silhouetted. The camera and the lighting doesn't do it quite justice, but this Goblin is very, very nice. Wow. I take back what I said about the printing. They made it up for with Norman right here. This is very, very nice. Great green. Great model. Cool helmet. My only issue with the helmet is still true from when I was a kid. When you turn the mask, the head doesn't turn, so eventually you'll see Norman's chin, despite his head being turned. Alright, who's left? We got Terminator, Osborn, and Dr. Strom, and Mary Jane. So, who gets the black pants? I think Norman gets the black pants. Kind of looks like a dark gray in the book, so forgive me for not knowing entirely what I'm looking at. Okay. Oh, old man hair. And he has gray pants. Okay. Turn these little lobster claw fingers around. There we go. Alright. Now it's time for Mary Jane. Yeah, I mean, part of the reason why I do that terrible voice for Mary Jane for my Spider-Man parody videos is simply because, let's face it, she doesn't exactly have the best face. Like, get a better look at it later, but it's a terrible, terrible face. Come on. Yeah. Like, look at that. Look at that mouth. Now she's supposed to be scared, but yeah, no, it's pretty bad. Alright. Minifigures are, in fact, done. Move that out of the way. Alright. No wonder I had such a hard time knowing what I was looking at. Look at the perspective of this. Like, yeah, no wonder as a kid I actually had to count the little circles, each stud, so I could properly place the set. Yeah, so I guess in the manual, dark gray is actually black. Because I don't see any parts like these dark gray, so I'll go with that. Ooh, I like this door. It's like, actually double molded. So you got your plastic bit and then clear bit, like molded, excuse me, on the back side. Pretty cool. This window's just one piece compared to most Lego that's produced in today's age. It's usually at least 2 pieces and usually a sticker. Nothing too special, but just a little sloped piece with some numbers and buttons printed on it. That goes by the door. That is one thing I do miss about older Lego sets, is the fact that you don't get as many printed pieces anymore. Most of it is in fact stickers. More slope. Kind of appreciate how big they made this one set, just because, or like how tall it is. It's like, even with modern day Lego sets, it's like I really can't get my hand in there. It's always been kind of a bit annoying. Hang on, this piece is just a little dusty somehow. But this is a pretty cool piece. Oh, drop that. It's all clear plastic. For a time, Lego actually did put out pieces like this. The idea is you just sort of dropped it in, like, not quite like that, like that. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I remember when these sets first started to come out. It's like computers like this. I always was like, wow, the future's now, look at how thin these are. Meanwhile, it's like, that's just how Lego could be, you know. It's not even like modern day technology. Like, it's kind of neat because they do include what I call flat or fat computers. Don't really see these parts anymore, where it's 2x2 sloped with the printed screen. Nowadays it's all like super thin, super clickable, super flat, which is definitely true for today's technology. It's just a bit of a nostalgia train, seeing these bits and baubles. printed serum piece. There we go. Very cool. Pretty cool. 3 pieces, which is kind of shocking for Lego. But I guess it does the job, and it does bump up the piece count ever so slightly. So, yeah, here's the completed first half of the set. This bit can spin around. The idea is to put Osborn on one side and the Green Goblin on the other. As for his grand transformation, with the stairs, and yeah. Fairly cool. I appreciate the base plates. We don't get enough Lego sets, especially nowadays, with actual base plates. If you do, it's in a very, very expensive set, and that drives me bananas, because base plates should not be that rare. Just shouldn't be. What's cool about this set is all the little spiders. Don't get spiders like this anymore. What's kind of cool is they actually have a clippable part on the front representing their fangs. So, really, you can clip that on and you would be A-okay. Have it like biting a web. Be pretty cool. I think that's what's going on. Oh, whoa, check this out. Another printed piece of a DNA strand. That's cool. That's very, very cool. I was not expecting this many printed pieces. Like, that just Okay, know what? I pretty well take back what I said completely about floppy minifigure printing. It makes sense now because they were actually busy printing on the bricks, which really does not happen anymore. It's quite sad. Kind of like this. Pretty cool. Quite detailing for even a sticker. Kind of surprised how spider-like Dashley made those. Don't think they would really do that in modern Lego. Not really, not anymore at least. Alrighty, here we are, the completed set. Don't know what I'm zooming in on, so I apologize. So, it kind of looks like these are meant to be treated as one entity, or as two separate ones, depending on how you would like to display it. Which I think is quite cool. I very much like that. I think it's a very cool set. I'm actually very impressed by this. The set itself, to this day, I think holds up. For what I paid for it new, realistically, unless you're a hardcore Spider-Man fan or a Lego collector, I would not recommend it. But if you are, there's a lot to be offered here. You got so many exclusive pieces. Not just exclusive because they're a different color, but like they got printing, they got special keyboards, they got so much stuff. And as a guy that does Lego stop motions occasionally now, this set is quite honestly great for that even. Yeah, there's no back walls, but so many Lego sets nowadays don't even include that. But the versatility of it, the fact that it opens up, there's plenty of hand room for kids to not only play, but also for displaying purposes too. Like, somehow they created a set back in 2002, 2003 that actually appeals to both. I feel, at least. I don't know if a non-collector would even consider this as a cool thing. But as a fan of the character and the Raimi films and Lego itself, I'm glad I actually opened this and built it, because I was a little skeptical. The box really does not do it justice. It just kind of looks like, well, you got a couple of pillars and a computer. Like, you don't even see the specialty printed parts. You don't really see the exclusive parts. Like, I know, like, back in the day, that wasn't exactly what Lego was selling for, but I mean, wow, quite cool. So, I'll be back in a moment and we'll take a closer look at all of those minifigures. Alright, and now we're back with the minifigures themselves. My god, these are both really simple, but also really cool. Let's start with the main man himself. Oh, sorry, Petey. Spider-Man. If autofocus ever works with me. There we go. Let's really zoom in for that nice printing. Let me just move these other guys out of the way so my camera can actually understand what I want it to focus on. We got some very, very nice chest printing, head printing, groin printing, very, very iconic silver webbing, which we do not get in any version of modern Spider-Man. We got that classic fat spider logo as seen in the first movie, as well as some very, very nice outlining. However, we do have a couple of smudge marks. You can kind of see them on his upper back, in between where his shoulder blades would be. Just makes... Oh, no. My bad. Just dust. I guess that's a thing that would happen with even old... Come on, focus back in. Even with old sealed Spider-Man sets. Yeah. I mean, this is quite a solid figure, actually. Even for me to nitpick, that turned out to be false. So, absolutely zero complaints on this one. If I do another stop motion with Spidey in his classic red and blue suit, I'll definitely be using this figure. Alright, now we're on to Peter Parker. He comes with a camera, which is still used in modern Lego sets today. He has a pretty alright shirt with a gray jacket over top. No back printing. First, I know, yep, no double face. Just your traditional Peter Parker. Quite simple, very, very classic Lego minifigure-ness. There we go, finally. Sorry, again, if anybody, if you ever talk to anybody that does videos like this, it's always that damn autofocus. I could always do manual focus, but when you're trying to do stuff on the fly, it's not very efficient. So there's Peter Parker. Really simple, does the job. Really no complaints. The printing's solid for where it is, but yeah. On to our next simple minifigure, Dr. Strom, who looks pretty alright. He kind of looks kind of sleazy, to be honest, with that suit and tie. No back printing or side printing or any of that specialty Lego-ness. He has the classic Lego minifigure face with very tight hair and no double face. So that is pretty standard for Lego guys, but there you go. On to Norman Osborn. Both a very special figure, but also a very simple figure. Literally the only printing he has is on his head. No printing on the back or sides. You can actually see a bit of his double printed headness on the back of his head, even with his hairpiece on, which is kind of sloppy on Lego's end. But that second face is quite cool. I really do like it. I actually like that little sweat mark they have on his forehead there. Like, again, you see what I mean? For what it is, it's very cool, but at the same time, it also is quite simple. But I mean, I'm willing to forgive the fact that they didn't give him, like, abs and muscles on his chest. Because, let's face it, Willem Dafoe wasn't exactly ripped in the Raimi movie. Not until after he got gassed, at least, so... I mean, for what it is, it's at least serviceable for both stages. If I have any complaints about this guy other than the lack of printing, is he just doesn't look like the actor. This guy really strikes me more as a Arnold Schwarzenegger, especially with that hairpiece, more than, say, well, a Willem Dafoe. Like, not a bad fig, just not overly accurate. On to probably the only piece of this set that, well, not the only piece, but one of the few pieces to this set that I still have to this day. Excuse me. That is Mary Jane. No specialty printing on her body by any means. Although surprisingly, they did give her a bit of cleavage, which I know Kristen Dunst did have a pair of arms, but it's kind of surprising that Lego would even acknowledge that, you know? Because this is, in fact, a children's toy, and not even like a fetish size sort of thing. This is just either weird collectors or children. So I don't know why they did that. Because if it was fan service, it's kind of weird, you know? Like, and it's not like they don't include boobs on minifigures. They do. It's just, for something like actual cleavage, I just find that weird. Especially because this is meant to be her in high school. Which is even more creepy if you think about it. Let's stop talking about Lego figures' boobs, because this is getting really weird. Yeah, I was distracted by the boobs. I'm sorry I didn't talk about the secondary phase. I think I did pull off the hair and panned it over, but I didn't actually talk about it, so. Here we are. Face that we've seen many times in my videos. Her happy, satisfied, okay with life face, and her, oh god, a horse just shat on the floor face. Because I don't know what to make of that. That mouse is really weird. One thing I will talk about though, in a positive light. I don't really know any other Lego figures that have this hairpiece. I know it's kind of like a weird nacho cheese orange. But with like other figures, for example, like Dr. Strom, he has the same hair as Peter. Norman Osborn has that, has that flat top hair that we've seen for both J. Jonah Jameson And honestly, quite a few Star Wars minifigures too. Like, this hairpiece is fairly common. Maybe not in this color, but it's fairly common. But this hairpiece, I don't remember seeing anywhere else. Not even like in a different color. If you know in the comments, please let me know, because I don't actually know. But, kinda cool. One thing I do appreciate about this figure, not to mention because it is kind of silly, it's a bit easier to poke fun at it in my videos. But yeah, no. Couple of things that just weird me out about this thing, as we talked about before. But other than that, fairly solid figure, cool hair, double face printing, which is quite rare for Lego, especially back at this point in time. But, yeah, I like it. Overall, cool. It's time for the Green Goblin. I'm keeping the mask off for now, just so then we can appreciate all the printing Lego has done for this guy. This figure blew my mind back in the day, because much like Lego Batman, you actually had a face underneath the mask. So like, if you were a kid like me that was fairly untrustworthy with small pieces, you could easily misplace like the mask. Oh no, I lost the mask. It's somewhere like under the couch, you know? Lost forever in time. You still have like a functioning figure, which I know it's not as cool as, say, the full Green Goblin, but at least they gave you something, like some sort of backup, which I really appreciate, and it looks good. I really love that headpiece. The eye printing is very nice, very precise, actually even and not really like out of place. It's about as straight and as perfectly even as you could probably get it. But that armor printing, so detailed. I love the lighter hues in it. Very cool. Very detailed. I like the different shades of green, how they got the light green and then like the dark green hands and the dark green groin. I know, I'm talking about Willem Dafoe and Lego's dick now. That's great. Mind you, I was talking about Kristen Dunst's tits earlier, so you know. It's just that kind of Lego review. But yeah, I mean, overall for this set, you get a good, and I do mean a good, amount of minifigs. Like, even if you're not particularly a fan of Spider-Man, you cannot deny. You got a really cool set with a lot of exclusive parts, a large variety of different spiders. You got a pretty cool build in the back here with this spinning chamber, a couple of computer switches, a working Lego magnifying glass. Like, I really don't know what more to say. This set is awesome, and it looks better in person than it did in the box or even photos I've seen online. Like, I was a little reluctant to build this because I didn't really think like the money lost for opening it and quote-unquote devaluing it would be worth it in compared to building it and displaying it. But wow. Yeah, overall I recommend this set. I think it's really cool. I like the size of it. I like how you can, again, position it in whichever way you want. If you want it to be longer like this, or longer, hang on, let me move those guys. longer like that, or you could just take that divider off and store them in a different place. Me personally, I like it like this because you feel like there's something to look at from every side. Yeah, you don't really get much from the back, but if you can see... Okay, I can't zoom out too much more, but if you can see, I got other Lego sets on this table. Mostly the Monster Fighter's house, but for displaying purposes, yeah, no, that's all you really need. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't honestly complain about using this for even a video if I ever need a science lab. I don't know if I would leave it perfectly as is. I would definitely add a backdrop, but this is, again, wow. If I were to give it an arbitrary number rating, I would give it a 7. Mostly just because I feel like it's above average. You get a good sum of figures, and there's a lot of playability without it being in your face, you know? It's not like modern day Lego sets where it's like, and then the wall blows up and then you lose half the pieces, you know? Or the stud shooters where you always lose the studs. This is like, the chamber opens up and you flick the spiders out. Ooh. I know, I make it sound so anticlimactic, but I just think that's a bit better, especially for children, because of the fact that, come on, get in there. It's a lot more controlled. It's not like it's spring-loaded. It's not like precise pressure plates or anything like that. It's literally you poke it with your finger and it comes out. And as a kid, that was more than enough for me. Like, I didn't need the toy to do the work. I did the work with my imagination. So at this point, I'm rambling, I'm going in circles. Either way, if you're a kid and you find the set used, maybe check it out. If you're an adult and you find the set used or new, maybe check it out. I honestly don't know if I've convinced you if you would like this set, but I can at least safely say I like this set. So with all of that said, I'll be signing off now, and I do apologize for a lot of the awkwardness of this video. If you want more reviews, let me know. I'll gladly either track down some more vintage sets to give my opinion on, or maybe I'll do some newer sets. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, and even if you want more of these, I mean, yeah, I really got no idea. Only one person on Twitter was like, yeah, do it. Sounds like fun. Didn't even tell them what set I was doing. I was just like, hey, would you guys like collection videos or reviews or something? So, yeah. All it takes is one. I guess. I don't know. I already had it. Either way, signing off now. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys and gals next time. Yeah.